Welcome to episode 21 of the Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die podcast. Your lovely host, Mama Les, the Dunkin' Donuts Queen.
Duncan.
I am Uncle Joe, and we are here today to discuss love. We were assigned a task, homework, to compile 5 sentences better than love and 10 ways of showing someone you love them. Did you do all your homework?
Yeah, I did 5 and 5, right? Because it was 10.
Oh, I guess I did extra work.
Oh, good, because in case we have some repeated ones.
All good. I'm sure we'll have some repeated ones.
I'll have some that'll come to mind as well.
I also got 2, what's the word? 2 submissions from fans, listeners, excuse me. And one of them was already on my list, but I'm gonna still shout out the person who sent it. And the other one was definitely not on my list, and I think the person who sent it might have wanted to reword it. So we'll get into that.
Damn, I should have asked.
10 ways of showing someone you love them. We'll get into that. This is my personal list, so I'm actually allowing y'all into a little into the brain of Uncle Joe and 10 ways that I show love.
So I was actually a little hesitant as I was doing these.
Why?
Because
do you fear love?
No, okay. But right, I feel like I'm putting out there exactly what I'm looking for, which makes it easier for someone to portray that, right, without genuinely being.
So you feel susceptible.
A little bit, but you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be true to what I think, right? So
yeah,
and hope that people have good intentions.
And always remember the words of a wise man named Nasir Jones. There's only so long fake thugs can pretend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, would you rather start with 5 sentences better than I love you, or 10 ways of showing someone that you love them?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
I don't have a coin. Ladies' choice.
Let's start with 5 ways, 5 sentences.
All right. Well, ladies first. Hit me with your first sentence. Well, actually, before you do that, let me get to one of the listener submissions.
Okay.
Because this is not one of my 5. This is like an extra credit. So the homie Roy Frias on Instagram. Shout out to you first and foremost for listening and watching, and always showing feedback and always showing love. And shout out to everyone else who does so. Make sure you're following at Men Lie, Women Lie podcast. Make sure you're following the YouTube at Men Lie, Women Lie podcast, and make sure you're following on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So Mr. Roy says, one sentence better than I love you is, I'm gonna pay you back. Now, I disagree with this sentence, right? I read it and I was like, damn, I know what he means, but this is the wrong sentence because I'm gonna pay you back ain't worth a shit. I'm paying you back as they pay you is probably better than I love you.
Oh, that's funny.
So shout out to him. That was definitely some good input. And to all the people out there, man, pay your debts, bro. If you owe someone something, you know, at least make an effort. If you can't pay them all at once, pay them in portions. Yeah. But at least let them know that you did not forget about them. And your intention is to clear your debt as soon as possible. So shout out to the brother Roy. All right, so now the 10.
Wait, but real quick, I want to give a shout out to somebody else too. And I know that you've been in contact with this person too. His name is Daniel. He actually runs a nonprofit called Bereavement.
Shout out to Daniel.
He's doing some
yes,
great
thank you for
things.
Actually educating me on the pronouncement of the movement because I thought it was Bruv Movement.
No, it's because it's like grieving, so
shout out to that. They had a meditation class yesterday at 6 p.m. I believe it was in Teaneck. I didn't make it due to the weather being hectic. And
bereavement.
And I definitely plan to go there. I believe next
They're doing like cooking
Sunday,
classes. They're doing, and it's all like for
the cooking.
For
I believe
men.
Next Sunday is the cooking class. Yesterday was the meditation class, and they do a bunch of dope stuff that I definitely plan on attending and being a part of. So definitely shout out to that. What's the name of it? Bereavement.
Bereavement. Yeah.
Bereavement. Shout out to that. I thought it was Bruv Movement, but I be dyslexic, so don't worry about me.
They're doing a lot of great things for men,
and
right?
And what's the brother's name? Daniel?
Daniel, yep.
Daniel, yeah. Yep. Big shout out to Daniel. He actually reached out to me. I asked him to send me some information, and he did.
He's pretty awesome, so.
Which was dope. Shout out to all the good brothers that are taking part in that movement, and all the men and women out there that do things to in an attempt to better oneself. And shout out to the people that put it together to
And you
allow
should
that.
follow him. He has a very touching story.
Yeah, definitely follow him. Follow the Bro Reedman page. And if you are available, come out to some of the events. Cooking classes, definitely I've seen him. He's again, there is an event next week, and I want to say it's a cooking class. But I could be wrong because next weekend is Easter. So check the page, get the right information. But definitely shout out to Daniel and shout out to them good brothers over there.
All right, back to, sorry, I had to throw that in there before.
No, absolutely. That was a worthy shout out.
All right, so before we get into the list, 2 out of 5 of mine come from movies, and 1 was words spoken in like a show that I've been watching that I thought was really kind of touching. So I included those on my list. Okay. I don't know which one to start with.
Shock us with one. Let's see if we have any that we both.
I'm sure we probably do. I want to do life with you.
The intent to an eternal commitment.
Yeah.
Very, very heartfelt. Why did that connect with you so much?
Really, because the one time that it was said to me.
Oh, someone actually said that to you?
Yeah.
Wow, whoever that was.
Like I think
2
about.
points on the.
I think about it now.
Smooth line list.
And I obviously timing was a factor back then, years ago, and I remember the impact that it had on me. Right, I was young, and I think about it now. The impact it would have on me now, I would be like, back then it was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I want to do life with you, yeah, okay, right? Because that's not where I was at. Now, just even the thought, right? I'm like, oh, my heart.
But from the right person, of course. Yeah.
No,
I think that goes without saying, right, for all of you.
Of course.
I want to do life with you. That is, that's pretty dope. I wonder if the person who said it to you thought of it, or if they heard it somewhere else, or read it somewhere.
I don't know, but yeah.
The search for a life partner continues.
Yeah, I mean, because when you think about it, right, I want to do life with you. So you're not, life has its ups, its downs. It's kind of like, yo, I want to do it all with you, right? And whatever that comes with.
That's a deep commitment, man. Yeah. That is an actual test of love, life. That's a good one. I like that one. So shout out to that. I want to do life with you. Fellas, this is cheat code shit, right? So whatever we're saying, write it down. And when you go home and you see your girl, you throw 1 or 2 out to see how she reacts.
No, don't do that.
Why not? What if it's heartfelt?
If it's heartfelt and you're genuine about it, but don't do it.
I said go when you go home to your girl, not to your little jumbo.
Just because you got a girl doesn't mean, right? There's a lot of people mistreating their girls out here.
True.
And vice versa.
But when I say your girl, I mean the person that you love and want to share the world with.
We got to clarify because,
True. Very true. Very true. I'm going to start with a very simple one. I don't recall what year this movie came out. I'm sure both of you ladies have seen it and probably 90% of the audience. Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, Ghost. So,
my heart.
When one would tell the other, I love you, the other would say,
ditto.
Do y'all remember?
Oh, ditto, yeah.
Ditto. So that always stuck with me as a kid.
Ditto.
And I think I've definitely used that when returning love. And not everybody gets it, but if you get it, then you know that ditto is a reference to a love that lasts beyond this life into another lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So that's like...
yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know if necessarily I would be like, oh, he said ditto. Like, me personally, I get it, right? I love that movie. I think it's beautiful. And in that movie, right, it made sense, whatever. Yeah. But I think if somebody, were to be like, if I were to be like, oh, I love you, and they're like, ditto. I'll be like,
well, it can't be on the first I love
what?
you, right? It can't be like the first time you say
You
it.
what?
But if you're with somebody for a few years and you say it,
I don't know.
if you
cute,
catch the reference,
yeah,
I think it'll be pretty.
It's cute.
It should be appreciated. And shout out to that movie, man. That movie, wow, I watched that movie a lot as a kid. And that was a fly little movie, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze, bro.
I'm gonna go home and watch Ghost and
Word,
sit there.
go home and watch
sit there
Ghost.
and cry.
And then you text somebody, ditto.
I ain't texting nobody, ditto.
Damn.
No.
Shout out to that. Shout out to my mom. My mom loves the movie Ghost, and I definitely watched it with her a bunch of times. So a ditto to her.
Oh,
Word.
that's sweet. Ditto to mom. All right, I'm gonna share one that I use a lot, and it's not necessarily, but it's not necessarily just like in romantic relationships. It's just like, you know, with people, with friends, with coworkers. I like to tell people very often, I appreciate you. So,
yeah,
you know, just
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Even, listen, I've gotten it, and it started from one time a client of mine just asked me a simple question, and when I answered him, he was like, "Oh, I appreciate you," and I was like, "Wow, like
I
that's
feel
nice."
like that sentence is gaining popularity recently. Like I don't think we would have heard "I appreciate you" 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago.
No.
I think people are now realizing how much others help them.
Yep.
And that they should be appreciated for whatever it is that they do, you know, whether they bring you happiness or help or comfort or peace, whatever someone else brings you or adds to your life, whatever value, it should be appreciated, and appreciation should be expressed. I think oftentimes in our younger times, we probably took people more for granted, or emotions more for granted, or help even for granted, and just didn't express it. So definitely I like that one.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. And to be clear, all these sentences are only of value if the emotion is true.
Correct.
Right? These sentences mean nothing.
And you could pick up on if somebody's being genuine about it, right? Or if they're just saying it just to say it. You could definitely, you know.
So if you use these words, may your intentions be true.
Yeah, don't be a jerk.
Don't be a dick.
Don't say things just to say things, right?
Yeah.
And then for the person receiving it, make sure that the words match the actions.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely. Very good advice from Mama Les. For my next sentence, I'm going back to the movies. I'm actually going to a more recent cinematic experience that probably a lot of us shared. Avengers Endgame, when Iron Man dies, before he dies, he tells his wife, "I love you 3,000." And I don't know what the 3,000 means or stood for. And if any of you comic book nerds knows what it is, please let me know. But the fact that he loves her 3,000? 3,000 times the love of regular love? Yo, first of all, well, probably this was first of all. Second of all, if you saw Avengers and Iron Man died and you didn't cry, I don't know, man. I don't know if you got a heart. But I definitely loved when he said that. I hated that he died, but it all made sense in the context of the story. And I've definitely used "I love you 3,000."
You've used it?
Yeah, I used it for my grandmother. I used it for my mom. I haven't used it in a romantic setting.
So I have really bad memory, right? So I don't know if I've seen Avengers. Like, I'm not really big into that.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are. But I think if somebody told me "I love you 3,000," I'd be like, what? Because I might not catch like
but your questioning of it may lead you to do some research,
right?
Or it may lead you to share that experience with a person, and them open up and explain to you why it meant so much to them, and therefore forge a bond.
So but my first reaction would be like, huh?
Like, huh?
¿Qué?
Shout out to Iron Man. Shout out to the Avengers. Marvel's on a downward slope, in my opinion, but that was the peak. And yo, I cried twice in Avengers. I'm gonna keep it real. And this goes to show you why I'm me, right? I cried when Iron Man died because he told his wife, "I love you 3,000," as he died in her arms and shit. And I cried when Thanos had to sacrifice his daughter in order to get a stone.
So you made a connection to like.
So I made
like
a connection.
You internalized
to
it.
Both. Yeah, hell
wow.
yeah. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to Thanos. Both of them, all of them.
All right. So my next one is, I feel like myself when I'm with you.
Those are beautiful words.
Yeah.
Why does that connect with you? I'm gonna ask you, why does everyone connect with you? Because I just explained my connection.
Because I think that in this generation, right, of everybody putting up like a facade of who they are, and to be able to be with someone and be who you really are and not feel like you're being judged, not feel like you're not worthy, like really being seen, right? And having that safe space, you don't find that often.
I agree, and I think that is a mark of true love when you are able to truly be yourself around someone. For example, I'm of the quiet nature, right? But really, I'm a goofball and like a cornball and shit. So when I truly open up with someone, I get like, I could be like goofier and cornier. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty corny on the regular, but
yeah. I'm just kidding.
So no, I definitely really agree with that one. That is a beautiful thing to find, and when that person like goofs it up with you, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your hidden talent may be, and they fuck with it, you know, that's dope. That's when some of the best memories are made.
Yep.
Don't let the internet and social media fool you and think that beautiful memories are made on tropical islands and beachfront properties.
Nah, it's
and
the one sitting in the car where all of a sudden your favorite song comes on and you can't sing for shit, and all of a sudden you start singing and they join you and you're just driving to like the middle of nowhere.
You know what's funny about that? I'm actually an excellent singer, right? So I often sing to my partners that I truly care for.
You sing?
You mock me, but yes, I sing. I think myself probably one of the most better singers of the last century, but I don't share it with everyone.
Even Dolly's cracking up back there.
You know, I had a partner once, and I always knew she was really happy when she would do a certain little dance. You know what I'm saying? So I often
That's so funny how we pick up on things, right? Like when you spend a lot of time with someone, when you care about someone, because that means that you care, right? Because you're paying attention to like the little details.
Yeah.
And you just know,
it's in
like
the thoughtless moments.
Yeah.
But that is another testament to the love. You know what I'm saying? When the love is real is when those moments occur. I gotta be watching Dolly. She be behind the camera plotting. Is it back on me? I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about love and Greek mythology. There was a young lady who slept with a dude, right? They had sex. A male and a female met. They had sex. They enjoyed the sex. Afterwards, they had a conversation. And the young lady's telling the dude, the female's telling the male, I gotta leave. And he's telling her to stay. Mm-hmm. So she tells him, ask me to stay. And he's like, stay. And she's like, no, ask me by my name. And he's like, fuck.
He didn't know her name?
He didn't know her name. So she tells him her name. And he goes to tell her his name. And she's like, oh, I know your name. All the women do. And he's like, damn. Is my reputation so bad? And she's like, yeah, it's the worst. He's like, damn. So he's like, why did you lay with me then? And she explains to him that the gods led her to him. And he questions why would the gods do such a thing, and she explains to him that the gods believe him to be of great potential,
Mm-hmm.
and he can do great things, but he needs the right woman with him in order to do so, right? So he asks her, "What else did the gods tell you?" And mind you, she's getting ready to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
During this conversation. And he's sitting down and he's kind of looking up at her. So he's like, "What else did the God tell you?" And she throws on her little shawl or whatever. And she's like, "That you will never love another woman." And then she leaves.
Oh.
Yo, that shit, that's how I was.
Oh.
So I think that sentence is, that's my third sentence. You will never love another woman. The delivery of that sentence and the scene, and I'm going to post it. I'll post it later tonight or tomorrow since I have a lot of free time right now. Definitely. And her name was Sura, Sura. And it was a beautiful
I like
name. And
that.
she was actually a beautiful woman. So that's the sentence, yo. You will never love another woman. If a woman said that to me, I'll be scared as fuck,
right.
yo. I'll be scared. I'll be like, damn, you got it, girl.
I like that.
So shout out to that. Yeah, eventually, unfortunately, well, I won't tell you the rest of the story, but it's
Why?
It's a tragic story.
Does she die?
She dies. She dies in his arms.
Somebody always dies.
Yeah. Sad. You know, I'll cry thinking about that shit right now. Where the way she dies and shit, the way he finds her, and
Aww.
it's a tragic tale. I'm very much into Greek mythology and the tragic tales of Greece, and them, you know, Zeus and them, and Athena.
You're kind of like a little bit of a low-key, hopeless romantic.
I've been described as a lover boy. For whatever that's worth.
What is the definition of a lover boy?
Something like that.
Like a hopeless romantic.
Okay. Yeah, someone, you know, someone with a lot of love to give and like just, you know, sweet and stuff. Sweet love, flowers and shit, and cupcakes and shit. Ay.
I can't with you, Joe. I'm glad you're back to Uncle Joe, though. So that's a good thing.
Yes. We because that sentence may not make sense to the listeners, we had a conversation, Mama Les and I, where she noticed how my demeanor changes when I'm in the midst of struggle.
When you're in a funk, right?
Yeah.
Like we all go through it, right?
Yeah. So, what was the struggle name?
Oh, Tío Joe.
Tío Joe.
Which it should have been the opposite, right? I think I explained it in the
yeah.
last episode, right? But
We got to keep him
I
away.
met you as Uncle Joe.
Yeah. More fun loving.
Yeah. I miss that, Joe.
Oh, I'm back.
I know.
Occasionally, I tend to.
Well,
be
today you're back, and I'll take it out.
Amen.
I appreciate those moments.
Amen to that.
All right, so my next one. Let me see.
You only got two left.
Actually, I think I only have like one left.
Oh damn.
I believe in you.
I believe in you. I could dig it.
Simple. Sometimes, right, we need that when we don't believe in ourselves, right, when that imposter syndrome kicks in.
Yeah, the confidence boost.
You know, just to have someone, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, right? Somebody you care about, like,
it's
oh,
also
you got
motivating.
this. I believe in you,
right?
You
Because
know?
now you don't want to disappoint someone,
right?
Who believes in you. I think a sentence that goes that didn't make my list, but should have, and goes hand in hand with "I believe in you" is "I'm proud of you."
Yeah.
Sometimes more so than love, someone showing pride in what you've done.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like, damn, you know, especially if it's someone like that you've been kind of trying to earn their pride or whatever. Like I felt for a long time I was trying to earn my father's pride. Like I was trying to make him proud for mad long. Not that I've stopped trying to make him proud, but I just held it to such a high regard that I think it was affecting me negatively when it wasn't accomplished. And I actually texted that to my dad one night, and I think he thought I was like suicidal or something. So he called me right away, like, "Nigga, I'm mad proud of you. Fuck out of here."
Sometimes it's nice to hear, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, right, like our family and our friends, they may be proud of us, but they don't verbalize it, right?
Yeah, especially
and
those from a previous generation.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't realize how important it is to hear that.
Absolutely.
And I'm even with our kids, right? Saying it to your kids, right? Because sometimes we try to instill things in our kids, and we're like, "Oh, you got to do this better. You got to do that better," right? And we don't take, as parents, we don't take a step back and be like, "Wow, like I'm proud of you, kid," you know?
Yeah, right. Something to keep in mind that I just recently read, and it hits a heart for various reasons. Something that I want everybody to kind of remember. Your parents are going through life too.
Yes.
It's not that they just were created to be your parent and that is their main and only focus. Like they are also going through this roller coaster called life. And not only that, it's their first time being parents. You know what I'm saying? So they're learning with you, from you, and of you. You know what I'm saying? So just cut them some slack, yo. Even even when they make mistakes, and even when they maybe don't react to things the way you want them to, or don't express the way you want them to, cut them a little slack because they're dealing with their own demons and their own stress.
Yeah, and as adults now, right? I think now people are a little more aware of like childhood trauma and what they went through, right, growing up, and
now more than ever,
right. And a lot of people are very quick to be like, "Oh, well, my parents raised me this way, or my dad didn't do this," including myself, right? Everything I say, I include myself because I've gone through that. But we can't, like, okay, granted, we went through that because of the way we were raised, but it's our responsibility as adults to change that. We can't continue to be like, "Oh, but my dad wasn't there. I have abandonment issues because my dad wasn't there." Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it can't be a crutch forever.
Right, like, because if not, you're gonna continue to repeat cycles.
Correct.
So.
Correct. Do the work, and
it's hard. It's hard, and the work is never ending.
I think that might be the hardest work to do because your parents love you've known from day one.
Yeah.
We
gotta unlearn a lot of things that we learn. It's so crazy, right? Because when you're born, right, throughout your childhood, you learn things. Your parents teach you certain things, and then as an adult, you have to unlearn a lot of that stuff to be able to,
or if not
become a better version of yourself.
Understand it. Understand that they were the way they were because they had their reasons, and they had their parents,
they had their
generations
trauma.
Are different, and 20 years ago we didn't talk about trauma and fucking none of this shit we talk about now, PTSD and depression and all that shit. If you was depressed as a kid, you'd get slapped upside the head and be like, "Nigga, go outside, go to the park." Like, you're not even allowed to be depressed when we were kids.
Like my sister, the one that lives in Puerto Rico, sent me a video today of her and my nephew, right? And I do this with my younger one now, right? But he's already 12. My nephew is a baby. He's 2. And she does positive affirmations with him. So she'll be like, Noah es, in Spanish, and he's like, Noah es inteligente, Noah es maravilloso, Noah tiene un corazón grande. Like all these, and I was like, oh my God, I love this so much, right? So that just, like, I think of, wow, when he gets older, he's gonna have like that confidence in himself, that like, he's
gonna believe.
Yeah, like. We didn't have that growing up, right? It was like, "Oh, why didn't you get good grades? Why didn't you do this?"
If you tried doing positive affirmations, people think you was a witch and shit. For real, like that wasn't a thing at all.
So,
but definitely worth it. And something everyone should attempt to do, some type of positive affirmation, whether in the morning, before sleep or something. Talk to yourself and love yourself, man. I think a lot of the love that is lacking is within oneself.
That is.
That is
100%.
Let me go to my number 2 sentence. This was on my list regardless, but a listener did also submit it. So shout out to Angie C, great supporter. And she said, a sentence better than love is I prayed for you. And I like that one. I think that's very important. I had a partner that we would pray together. Word. A few partners ago, we would pray together.
That's beautiful.
Donnie! What happened? Oh, shit, she said it didn't help. I'm announcing my retirement from this show right now on this episode. This is my last episode. I can't take this abuse anymore. This is not good for my mental health or my soul. Word.
I can't believe she said that.
I know, that's fucked up. The young lady ended up converting to Christianity, and she is now a God-fearing woman. So shout out to her and much respect to her.
Yes, yes.
But I prayed for you. That's to include someone in your prayer is a deep connection. You know what I'm saying? Often when I pray for my friends and my family. And your lover falls into those categories somewhere, right? But specific prayer for loved ones. That makes them kind of special, y'all. Word.
So I actually have, there's two, because I thought of one that it's only between me and my kids though.
Okay.
And we'll say like, I love you to Papa Dios and back.
Okay. Similar
Papa
to I
Dios
love you
is
to the
God,
moon and back.
right? So ever since they were little, it was always between that and like, you're my sunshine. Those are the two things that
my daughter used to sing that song.
We have always, both of them. Yeah. Mason, that is now going to be 20, and Jeremy, that's going to be 12, since they were little. It was always like, I love you to Papa Dios and back, and you are my sunshine.
That's what's up. Shout out to that, man. Shout out to all the moms out there who got little special little things with their children.
And the dads.
Oh, and the dads too, of course.
Right?
My bad. No, I didn't mean to exclude y'all. Definitely shout out to the dads who got their little special things with their children.
And then real quick, we got one in last minute. And this one I'm a little torn between, because it was one of the ones that I thought of. But as I've gone through like this self like growth and all this stuff, I realized that I wouldn't want someone to say this to me. You complete me. So I think I would not want, because I don't want to complete you. I want to add to you, but you need to be complete within yourself.
Can you be complete without love?
You don't need, you have love within yourself.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Without
so
the love of another?
You have your family, you have your friends, you have community, right?
All right, no, I'm just here
I'm just saying, because I don't want to complete somebody. That's a lot of pressure.
And
I don't want someone to complete me.
But when you meet somebody, right? There are levels of differences between y'all, right? Y'all not the same, obviously. Mm-hmm. You have different traits and different positives and different negatives. So couldn't that person, in theory, complete you and you complete them, where you strengthen what they lack, or you provide for them what they maybe
then maybe
have?
Phrasing it more like, you're my better half. Just the whole complete part for me anyways. And I guess it has to do with a lot of like the things that I'm reading and the things that, How
about like you're my missing piece?
The missing piece of the puzzle. Yeah. Something.
So it's just the word
it's
complete.
Just like I don't want to complete you. I want you to be whole on your own and me be whole on my own. And then we come together, right? I don't know.
I feel like somewhere in the Bible it says you should have a partner, right? Am I bugging? In the Bible it says something about you should love someone or someone should love you.
Yeah, I should. Okay, I should love myself. I could love my partner. Doesn't mean that they complete me.
All right, no.
I don't know. That's just.
I'm just trying to peel the onion.
No. I'm a little torn, because that was one of the ones.
In love only, like you complete someone just in the love sense, not in everything else.
But I don't want to complete. I don't want to complete someone.
You want
I want a complete someone, and I am a complete someone, and together we're just a fucking
you want to be the
Powerball
fucking cherry on top of the sundae.
like I don't know.
But if someone is complete,
then
do they need you?
I mean, do we really need anybody but ourselves? In reality, right? Yes, it's beautiful to have someone. I want that love. But if you think about it logically, do we really need someone?
Logical thinking and love do not often
I
lay
understand
within
that.
the same
I understand
house.
that. I'm just.
In fact, I would say love is illogical.
I would say that too.
I
don't know. I think it's all these books that I'm reading,
in
right?
theory,
That I'm like,
we do not need a partner.
Right.
However,
but everybody wants it. I of course,
the
that you
soul longs
want
for
that,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
But it's not a necessity.
I'm a little disappointed to hear that from you, Mama Les.
I know.
I thought you were a lover of love.
I am, but I'm at a point right now where I guess I'm a little more just loving myself first.
That's fair. I'm at a point right now where I am limiting my love.
Okay.
I think maybe I was
pour it into yourself.
No,
that love
for sure. I think I was giving out too much love.
Okay.
Too undeserved.
Well, maybe you just need to work on your discernment, right? Who you give that love to. Because you don't want to stop giving it and then someone that is deserving of it comes along and you're not giving it. Right? So
Correct.
Maybe just have a little more discernment.
Well,
on
my problem is that I love everyone.
Who and when you give.
Okay,
lover boy.
Not like that. I just have love for everybody. I'm very zen.
Yeah, but you have to protect your heart, man. There's a piece in the Bible too.
Oh, let's go.
Hold on. It's did I take I may have taken a picture of it.
Protect your hearts, guys. That is great advice from Mama Les.
Okay, so it says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Look,
that is very true.
I took a screenshot of it. Not a screenshot, a picture of it.
Very true.
So, yeah.
A damaged heart. A damaged heart finds it difficult to love.
And just hurts others. Not intentionally, right? But.
Well, hurt people.
Yeah.
Don't be hurt, guys. Be cheerful. My last sentence. My last sentence is one of my favorite sentences, and it is one of the two things that I know how to say in French. The first one being papillon, which translates to butterfly. Oh. And the second being tu me manques, which translates, so in French, they don't say I miss you. Mm-hmm. They say tu me manques, which means you are missing from me. Ooh. Almost like a limb or an organ.
Like the complete me.
Like the complete me. I guess that's a no-go on that one. No, can't complete nobody.
It sounds nicer in French.
Can't be a fucking...
I know, I sound like a scorned woman, right? I know.
Oh, TikTok is going to have a ball with you on this one. Oh, my God,
I know. Can we edit that part?
I've definitely used this before. In very limited sprinklings. But I have used this. I think it's beautiful, yo.
Say it again. How can I pronounce it?
And I'm not a French expert, so I may not be pronouncing it correctly. But it reads as tu me manques.
Tu me manques.
Which translates again to
anybody that speaks French, let us know if that's pronounced correctly.
Yeah, and correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Because, again, dyslexic.
Who knows what we're really saying?
Word. But the translation is you are missing from me. So in English, it's you are missing.
I like it. I like that. I like that.
And for true lovers, that is a very a powerful statement, because when something is no longer there as you've become accustomed to, it feels as though something is missing from you. And then you have to go back into completing yourself on your own. and then it goes back to the conversation we were having a few minutes
Yeah.
ago. So shout out to that. I don't know who made it up. I don't know who said it, but I think it's a beautiful sentence. And those are my 5 sentences better than I love you.
Okay.
And I didn't even say a pervy one, you see?
Oh,
Shout out to
Lord.
that.
All right, next.
Next, we have 10 ways of showing
I only came up with
someone you
5.
love them. Oh, boo.
It was supposed to be 5 and 5. You see?
My bad.
I understood the assignment.
I'll be so motivated, you know what I'm saying? So committed to this job that I came up with some extra ones. So I'm gonna just hit you with 5 quick ones then.
Okay.
And then
You
we
want to
can go
start?
into- yeah, sure. 10 ways of showing someone you love them. Music. Whether sharing music with them, dedicating music to them. I often times find that music will express emotions that I have difficulty expressing in word. So music will sometimes say exactly what you're trying to say,
Yes.
and you don't have to say it. You can just play the song. So shout out to music and beautiful songs.
I agree.
Sharing your fears and thoughts.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability. Good word. Definitely difficult. And with love comes trust. So, you have to trust that person enough. Oftentimes, men are hesitant to share fears and thoughts because we're often taught growing up that if you show someone your weakness, later they will be able to use it against you. So if you share your fears or your doubts or your discernments with your partner, it's like they say, right? On Twitter, I don't know if y'all fuck with Twitter a lot, but on Twitter they be like, I'm a funny motherfucker while you love me, but when you hate me, I'm a nigga that's always joking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like, while we're cool and I tell you my fears, you be like, oh, he's so vulnerable and sweet and I love him. But then when we beef, you be like, this nigga's scared of spiders. And you be like, damn, bitch, that was supposed to be a secret. So I think opening up is very expressive of love. This one is specifically for men, because men, as far as I know, and I guess I speak for myself here, when you play with a girl's hair. Now, why is that important? Because sometimes you'll lay with a girl and she may not mean as much to you as others, so you may not necessarily cuddle her or play with her hair. But when a girl has more of a special meaning.
I mean, listen, if you play with my hair might get tangled.
What? Her hair up here? Not her mustache. The fuck?
My hair might get tangled. I don't know.
Not if he knows what he's doing. He's not going to be here twirling it around.
I guess.
No, you got to be like,
I don't know what's wrong with me today. I woke up like on some shit.
Hater.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that haterade in your coffee?
I'm sorry, guys.
What? Oh, period?
I don't know. TMI.
Sorry, guys.
Sally and I are in the same cycle, so
Just go ahead and start praying now, dear Lord. Please protect me. Watch over me.
Oh, shit.
Control these demons, Lord, please.
I'm sorry to the listeners. I'm a little
It's all
off
good.
today.
We all have our days. Even Michael Jordan had his off days, right?
This is true.
That was 1, 2, 3. 10 ways of showing you someone you love them. Pray together. Even go to church together,
Yeah, I want to find someone that... I mean, I'm going to go to church by myself. I actually said starting next Sunday.
My church is right there. Pastor Steve. Shout out to Grove Street Church, man. They hold me down all the time. And actually, I want to send a special shout out to Pastor Steve, who not only prays for me, he also provides me counseling when I need it. And that is one of the few people that I feel I can call in the most dire of emotional situations. And his words will make me feel uplifted and resurrected. So Pastor Steve, man, I love you, man. Word. And one time he did a sermon and he threw some Biggie lyrics in there. I was like, this is my guy right here. So shout out to that. Word. Pray together. And then I'm going to hit you with one more. For me, personally, rub my back, yo. Word. I don't know about you other brothers out there, you dudes. I'm sure girls like to get their back rubbed too, but something about like a girl rubbing my back. If I fall in love. I fall in love quickly, but that'll speed up the process. That shit'll put it on Turbo Graphics 16.
I think that's a common thing for men.
dudes?
Like the back rubbing,
Yeah. You know what it is? In order for you to rub my back, I have to give you my back. So I have to trust you behind my back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that sounds deep. I never thought of it that way.
Think deeper. I told you, I've been watching a lot of
wonder
Greek stuff.
if other people see it that way, like other men.
Well, you have to have a level of paranoia to think that way. Yeah.
This is true.
All right, so now let's go. 5 and 5. Those were 5 just extras because I overthought this.
Okay, so let me.
We'll go back. And forth.
I'll start with one. I guess mine aren't as deep. I guess. I'll start from the bottom up. So, but I'm gonna do one and then you do one.
Sure.
All right. So, and this was actually someone that I was dating recently, and he in a restaurant he would never sit across from me, always next to me. Always.
Okay, but did he violate rule number 1 of sitting in a restaurant?
There's a rule in sitting in a restaurant?
Yeah, the dude always has to face the door so that he can see everyone coming in and out in case danger
I mean,
occurs.
If we're sitting across, I don't like to face like the wall and stuff because I don't know, there's just so much you can look at. I like to face the crowd. So I don't know, I never really paid attention to that part. But
Women
wherever we were
don't.
sitting, it was always sitting next to me.
That's sweet.
And I love that. I never had that before. And I don't, now I feel like if I go on a date with someone, if they sit in front of me, I'm like,
To all the listeners out there, specifically the fellas, I'm giving y'all the cheat code for Mama Les here. Like, if y'all watch this episode, write all this shit down.
But it could
be meaningful and have the right purpose, and you could very easily land you a Mama Les.
It could also
not very easily.
It could also be though, right? Because there's feelings involved, right?
There has to be feelings involved.
So maybe someone that on a first date sits next to me, I'm gonna be like, why are you invading my space? I don't know. But I like that.
Don't let her confusion.
Today I'm just a mix
just fucking
of
do it.
emotions
She gonna melt
today.
like, oh my God, he sat next to me. He pulled my chair out.
No, that is a must. That is a must. That's just
must.
being a gentleman, though, right? Because you can do that opening doors. That
Opening
doesn't
doors is
necessarily
a thing,
mean,
yeah.
I love you.
that
It's
a
just
lost
that's being.
art?
I think with the younger generation, yes.
Well, I think with the younger generation, romance as a whole is lost. I don't think they their conception of love is. I don't even know the word to use. You know, I don't know if it's tarnished or misunderstood. I don't know. But to my more mature listeners, definitely always walk with your lady on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Open the car door for her. Close it for her. Open the door for her. Put your hand on the, right a little on the back. Guide her. Pull the chair out for her. Face the door in case a lunatic comes in and wants to kill shit. You can save her.
Those things make a difference.
Yeah, word. Hold her hand and shit. And do the little finger thing right there.
There you go. You had to throw in something fresh, right?
That's not fresh. That is I love you in sign language, for those that don't know.
That doesn't mean that.
You doubt me?
I'm going to Google it.
All right, something mad simple, yo. Especially for my dudes, when a man really loves a woman, he will maintain her car.
Oh my God, that's one of my things.
Word.
I get me an oil change or fill up my tank without me asking.
Yeah, definitely make sure her tires have air and her car has gas and her brakes are not squealing. And you're a guy, so you should be into that anyway. I think I'm the rare exception that fucking hates car work.
I agree with that one 100%.
Confession. I hate car work because I hate to get my hands dirty and rough. You know what I'm saying? My hands are soft, almost like reminiscent of an angel's touch. So to that.
I don't know, but the face I just made that I thought I just made right now.
I hate y'all. To risk damaging them is not of my concern. So yeah.
I mean, you do have pretty hands.
Thank you. I maintain them, but definitely. But
so, ladies, if you're dating Joe,
incorrect.
He is not going to.
Incorrect, because in a recent relationship, a young lady, you know, I made sure her car was working good when I saw that it wasn't up to snuff, up to par. So I made sure I took
But you didn't get your hands dirty.
I might have, I might have got my hands a little dirty that day.
Okay.
But you know, for love, we break our own rules.
This is true. Oof.
Carry on, Mama Les. Spicy Les.
Okay. Show up consistently for them. You know I had to throw it in there.
Yo, y'all remember Pee Wee Herman? Y'all remember Pee Wee Herman? Y'all remember Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
And he'd have the word of the week. And every time they said the word, everybody would go, ah!
The word of my life.
And the bell would ring. Ding, ding. The word of this podcast, pardon me, is consistency. And we hadn't heard it in a while.
Yeah.
So repeat your sentence for me.
Just showing up consistently for your partner.
Showing up consistently is a way to show someone you love them. That's fair. That's fair. That's dedication. So I dig it. Because consistency, I even have trouble saying the word.
Why? Because you lack consistency?
In matters of less importance, I do.
Right, but that's why
because they don't matter.
If someone is consistent, that they're putting in the effort, they're putting in the work. Like, how could you not take that as a sign of someone caring? Right? That inconsistency shit.
Well, inconsistency is derived from consistency that was not appreciated.
What? Say that again.
Inconsistency derives from consistency that was not appreciated. And I just made that up. That was freestyle, y'all.
Well, maybe with somebody else.
With someone else.
Yeah,
or
with
even
someone else.
with someone. Let's say you and I are together and I'm mad consistent and you don't show no appreciation for it, then I become inconsistent because it don't fucking matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
no, I appreciate
that's a Joe, Uncle Joeism. that was a free one. So, life hack number 1A for Mama Les: be fucking consistent, bro. Consistently positive though. Don't be consistently a jerk.
No, yeah.
that's actually fucking easy. I'd excel at that. Be consistently positive. This one is very personal to me, right? Foot rubs.
Okay.
Word. Because I'm not the biggest fan of feet. You know what I'm saying? But when you love someone. Or
like giving foot rubs or getting foot rubs?
No, giving. No, don't touch my feet, please.
No?
No, my sisters. No.
But I thought we were going to make some money with your feet.
You can't just touch them, though. That's extra. Pictures is one cost and touching them is another cost. But for me, when I really care for a female, I'll rub her feet. Mm. If I don't really fuck with you, yeah. You're probably not getting none of this from the list. You're probably just getting, and laters. But
that's so mean.
Men and women can be mean, Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily mean because you have to learn the boundaries of each relationship. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are intended to just be physical and
and that's fine as long as it's communicated.
That boundary
as long as both sides understand that.
Yeah, off balance. But when care and love is there, then little, lotion, little hot oil, little almond oil, butter, cocoa butter, whatever. You start rubbing them feet and shit. They're properly maintained for rubbing purposes. Don't come with your fucking sandpaper heels and shit and think I'm gonna just be rubbing all night, cutting my hands up. Know what I mean?
With your pretty hands.
My pretty hands. Come with some pretty toes and let them frolic together. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. Foot rubs.
Okay. Listening to your partner, right? But listening to understand, not to respond. Not necessarily to respond. You know, because a lot of us, and not only your partner, just anybody, right? Somebody will share a story, and sometimes when we share something or when we vent, we're not necessarily looking for a response, right? We're just looking for you to just hear us out, just, you know?
Yes.
Even in communicating, let's say like a disagreement, right? We're quick to get on the defensive, right? Instead of actually listening and processing and okay, so how is this making this person feel? And like, so just listening to understand rather than just to respond.
Right. And men often find this difficult because we are creatures of solution.
Right.
So when you present a problem to us, we
guys are
are
thinking
quick
of a
to try to
solution,
solve
yeah.
it and eliminate the problem, where you guys maybe just want to be heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You maybe don't want to solve the problem, or maybe have your own theory on how to solve the problem. So fellas, it's important to, and don't be afraid to ask. You can ask your girl, hey, listen.
I agree. Are you looking for
Yeah.
me to listen, or are you looking for me to like help you, right?
Yeah,
or to like find
exactly.
you a solution?
Do you
Absolutely.
want input, or do you just want an ear?
Right. Right.
And then when they tell you they just want an ear, you know, you could daydream and think of other important shit.
That goes for friends as well, right? Like if a friend calls you,
pay attention.
If a friend calls you to vent and stuff, sometimes they just want to let it out, right? And letting them know, hey, listen, are you calling me to just share, or are you looking for like my opinion? Do you want my opinion?
Yes.
But
also be a good friend and find out if that person is in an emotional state where they can be a good ear or listener. Right. You might call someone that's going through some shit worse than you.
And there's nothing wrong with calling, hey, listen, do you have the space for me to share something with you? Exactly. Yeah, I think we don't do that enough.
I think that is nearly not done at all for some reason. I think we're just now starting to learn to do that. But definitely do that. Find out if the person you're calling or reaching out to is capable of handling, and then find out if the person calling you or reaching out to you is looking for solution or just an open ear.
Yep.
These next two kind of go hand in hand, but one is cooking for them.
Okay.
You know, and again, these are pretty personal and close to heart. So I don't just cook for anybody. If you're special, or if I deem you special, I'll cook for you. I like cooking though.
So I don't like cooking. So if I cook for you, that's a big deal.
Don't eat it.
It's not that I can't cook, okay? So I cook for my kids. My kids love my food. It's just not, like, I don't do it with that love. Like, you know, like, I feel like people that enjoy cooking, like, the food just tastes better, right? My food is not bad,
I
but the
enjoy
food...
cooking. Like, I gotta have my little music on, maybe a little wine, and,
you
know, go through the whole process and clean as you go, and it's cathartic.
Yeah. I've dated guys, though, actually a lot of guys that are really great cooks. And, like, they've cooked for me. And I'm like, oh, I get used to this, you know?
Oh, for sure.
It's just not my thing. I don't know. And my mom taught all of us how to cook. We're just, I don't know. I know it's kind of bad.
Nah, I mean, everybody can't do the same thing, bro. So, you know, cooking.
Like, Dolly cooks delicious.
Yeah, Dolly cooks good. Word.
Dolly.
Like a grandma.
Yeah, she does.
She is a grandma. But,
she is. She's a hot grandma.
Shout out to all the hot grandmas out there.
Yes. The hot abuelitas.
All right, so do you want me to just tell you the other one since these two are connected?
Yeah.
So sharing food is another one. Another form of expression of love. Especially if, like, you only have a little bit of food, or, you know, it's like your last couple of bites and shit, and you share it with someone.
Yeah. I don't like to share my food.
I felt that.
Yeah. I don't like to share. I mean, you know, yes, if I like you, I will be like, you want a little piece?
A very small portion.
In hopes that you're going to say no. But I will ask, hey, do you want a piece? But I will also not be like, hey, can I get some of that?
That's fair. That's
you know?
fair. Yeah.
So.
Women in food.
So my last one, and TikTok will probably get a kick out of this one too.
Let's go TikTok. Shout out to all the TikTokers out
forehead kisses.
there. The purest
Yo,
form of
forehead
expression
kisses
of love.
are like it's just like, and I have enough space for a lot of kisses. So TikTok, I got it out there for you, okay?
Oh. I ain't saying nothing. That's why your girl got to be shorter than you. Because it's mad awkward to try to give a taller girl a forehead kiss.
That is awkward.
So definitely bag you a shorty. And
but yeah.
And you can't even do that. Like, yeah, I want to say a quote real quick from Pastor Steve that he said in church last week in his sermon. I'm not sure if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but he said, saying I love you is a lot easier than actually loving you. And for some reason, you mentioning forehead kisses made me think of that, right? Because to me, I hold that action in such high esteem and such purity that I don't even play with forehead kisses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even keep your forehead away if you're not the person that is deserving of the forehead kisses. Well, yeah, you know, I know my big forehead baddies, you know what I mean?
It's hard to keep the forehead away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's niggas lined up ready to kiss your forehead, but to me that should just mean so much that I can't even fake a forehead kiss.
It's true. Like, I feel like it's just different.
I have a picture of Jay-Z kissing Beyonce on her forehead, and I saved that picture. And I don't know. It's just the purity of it.
Now that you actually talk about it, because Dolly had actually asked, right, like, should the word I love you be really that meaningful? And now that I'm thinking about it, right, and you're talking about like the forehead kisses and all that, I would rather have someone show me than ever tell me.
Well, that goes back to the quote I just said right now from Pastor Steve. Yeah. It's easy to say I love you. It's easy to lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could go outside right now.
Yeah, of course.
I had a homie, shout out to my homie, I'm not going to say his name, but he would just stick his head out the window and tell girls like, yo, shorty, I love you. So it's easy. No, I'm not going to bring him up. It's easy to say, to actually love someone and show it and reciprocate it and stick around when times ain't easy and the sun ain't the brightest, you know. That's way more meaningful.
And then Dolly asked, right, when dating someone who's never told you they love you, right, should you take that personal? And I think it goes back to if they're showing it. But we have to be, like, I think mature enough, right, to realize, okay, they may not verbally be saying it, but their actions are showing me that.
Right. You have to learn the person.
Yeah.
Not everyone is verbally expressive, especially when it comes to love or emotion. But they may show you they love you in 1,000 different ways. You just have to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And don't take it personal if they don't say they love you. But also, you can communicate with them and let them know, like, hey, sometimes I just need to hear it. It doesn't have to be every waking moment, but you know, a little I love you here and there don't hurt, and it's not fucking impossible, and it's not going to kill you, and your tongue is not going to fall out. But also pay mind to everything else they do, and they may be telling you they love you 1,000 times a day.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes time to learn, like, your partner. So, like, the I love yous shouldn't be coming so quickly, right?
Well, hold up on that, because there is no time limit on love. You can meet someone and fall in love immediately and tell them you love them. Like my boy used to do out the window. He used to see the shorty and fall in love massively, and he would express it.
Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because you can fall in love.
Listen, I agree that there's not a time frame, right? It's not like, oh, yeah, after 30 days or after 3 months or after. There's not a time frame.
Yeah, there's no set
But there
time.
is a lot of people that just say it because they know that that's what the partner wants to hear.
That's different.
And that's actually manipulative.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So,
But you can mean it in a day or 2 or 3 or 10 or 300. You don't know. When you feel the love, that's when the love has arrived. You're just more hesitant to love.
No, maybe. I don't know. Today I'm like,
fuck love.
Yeah.
I don't want no love.
Today I'm like,
Yeah. My last sentence is one that I read on Twitter, and it said, men take care of what they love.
Yes.
So whatever that means to you, taking care of your woman, whether that's making sure she's properly fed, you know, with food or with love, make sure her soul is fed.
Take care of her heart.
Yeah, whatever makes her feel cared for, you know, if she needs to be pampered one day or if she needs to just fucking lay on your chest for 10 hours or you lay her on her chest. Guys like to be the little spoon sometimes. It's all good. Okay. Whatever the case may be.
Whatever makes you happy, man. Whatever brings you peace.
Care for what you love and allow them to flourish and grow, for love is the water from which all life is born.
Oh, look at you.
Just made that up too. That's another free one, y'all.
Next episode, we're going to start charging for them.
Damn right. Under these circumstances. Shout out to all the listeners, man. Yes. Shout out to everybody who tunes in. Make sure you're following all the pages. And that was episode 21 of the Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die podcast. Shout out to Mama Les, and may her spirits turn more heavily.
Yeah, I'll be back to my regular self next time, guys. I don't know. Today it was like,
oh, you see, that mojo, man. Yeah, it's not always, you know, but it always comes back.
It happens. We're human, you know.
Absolutely. Feel better. And happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
If we don't see y'all, get your baby blues and your pinks out.